Who jumps out of perfectly good airplanes in the name of science? Mr. C.
And happy Thursday to you. Almost a happy Aloha Friday. And of course, we can all see the weekend from here. Only a 2-day weekend this weekend, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, got your journals? Of course you do. You're going to write in it. In fact, you might want to have a highlighter or a red pen so you can mark up your journal a little bit for tomorrow's smallish test. Big quiz, smallish test. How many points? I don't know yet. 30-ish? So you'll want to, homework of course, in your lesson planner, you'll want a triple R tonight. So please do so. So please triple R a bunch. And looking to see what I've got there. Could I just tell you what some of the things I'm going to ask? Do you mind? I mean, if you don't want me to, I won't. Just some of the things that are on the test. I'm going to have you, as usual, write John 1:3. This time, though, it's going to be worth 2 points. You see, I have some people out there in, I'll call it test land, that really still haven't learned John 1:3. They go, I don't know what they're thinking, but I assume they're thinking something like this. I don't want to be bothered with John 1:3. So I'm just going to take a -1 every time we do it on the test. Well, this time it's -2. So, and let's say it's a 3-point test, or 30-point test, and already you've dropped 2. You're close to dropping 10%. You're almost in the B category already. So probably not a good decision. I'm just saying. Now, a quick story about John 1:3. I had a student last year at the end of the second quarter, end of the year, 8th grade student, who wrote me a little note. Thank you, Mr. C, for teaching me. And I really enjoyed the 2 years with you. I'm making all this up. No, they probably said this. I'm not making it up. It's a very nice note. Very nice. So, and then they said, I don't think I will ever forget John 1:3. Well, I hope not. I want you to remember it forever. It is such a powerful verse. So, all things were made by him, and without him nothing was made that has been made. And the meaning? Jesus made every atom of all matter in the universe. None of it evolved. He made all of it, and he organized it into everything that he made, into planets, stars, moons, gases in the atmosphere, and around Earth, all of its just rights, plants, animals, humans on the planet, only place where we know life exists, nowhere else. People speculate, there could be life on the moon, one of the moons up there of whatever, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto. Oh yeah. Pluto's like 100 below 0 Fahrenheit. And, Jupiter and Saturn. It's fun to think about. But the conditions are horrific, as far as we know, everywhere else in the solar system, and probably in the galaxy. Who knows? Could God make living things somewhere else? Sure, if he wanted to. But the point is, did he? If he wanted to, he can. He's omnipotent, all-powerful. So there's nothing he can't do. But the only place we know he made life is right here on good old planet Earth. So anyway, I was just thinking, every animal, it can't do anything without having been made to do what it does, to have the behavior it has. All of its equipment, it wouldn't have it unless God created it specifically. The details. Same with plants. You know photosynthesis, how complex it is. Same with us. Way too complex to have ever evolved. Just one cell, DNA, all the systems, all the organs. Ain't happening by itself. So anyway, silly idea, just, oh yeah, it accidentally be formed all by itself. Sure it did. Yeah. And I am a snowman. So, well, you could be, Mr. C. Nope, I'm not. So anyway, John 1:3, 2 points, meaning of it, and then a number of things from last week's test. So I'm going to ask you about, and this week too, I'm going to ask you about Dr. Gardner's, just going to ask, Dr. Gardner's different kinds of smarts, part of your superpower. So I'm going to ask you about all the smarts. I'm going to ask you about your superpower. So superpower, what is it? The superpower is you. Everything that makes up unique you. That's your superpower, as my daughter Laura likes to say. Quick Kleenex, and I'm right back in the bunker. Allergies, allergies, allergies. Some of you know what it's like. So anyway, your superpower, what is it? It's who God made you to be, all your gifts and talents and abilities, and your personality. That's your superpower. And Laura, next week, daughter Laura, is going to tell you a secret about your superpower. How to keep it improving or growing. Really? Uh-huh. Yep. You'll be able to use this tip all of your life. So anyway, look for daughter Laura next week. So look forward to that next week. Okay? Just a tip about your superpower. I mean, it is cool. It's cool. I didn't discover this tip until I was 19, 20. So it took me that long to sort of figure it out. So anyway, all of that, I'm going to ask you about your superpower, then I'm going to ask you about parts of your superpower, your quote-unquote smarts, or your strengths. Now, I'm going to tell you their fancy name, and then I'm going to tell you, I want you to be able to give me one job that's a potential job if you have that particular strength or smart. The first one is visual spatial. Now, make sure you've got these in your journal. Don't put visual spatial unless, you're really picky and you want to write every little thing down. Okay, go for it. I'm not going to ask you visual spatial, but you can figure out what it means. It's art smart, but it makes up way more than art smart. Just you're really good at noticing how things fit together. You notice beauty. You're good at noticing something and then putting it down on paper or canvas. So those are some of the things you're good at. You'd be good at recognizing pattern, putting puzzles together. Potential jobs, architect. So you need to have at least one of these when I ask on the test. Art smart. Could be an architect, artist, of course, engineer. So that's that. The second one is linguistic verbal smart, or you could just call it word smart. People who are good at speaking and writing. So really good at that. And remembering spoken information. And here are a couple of potential professions. A writer, journalist. You're putting one or two of these in your journal, aren't you? This is linguistic, word smart. It's not an option to just sit there and listen. You're sticking it in your journal. Different smarts, different strengths. Writer, journalist, lawyer, teacher. Ta-da! C'est moi. That would be me. And then the third one is logical, mathematical, or math smart. So here are the characteristics. Really good at problem-solving skills, thinking about abstract ideas, conducting science experiments, solving complex computations, and potential jobs. Have a couple: scientist, IT person or computer person, engineer, accountant, abbreviates, mathematician, a couple of those. Logical, mathematical. Okay, bodily kinesthetic. Now, just like it sounds, your body smart. So number 4, body smart. So far we've got word smart, art smart, and then we've got, math smart, and now body smart. And body smart would be good at sports and dancing, very coordinated, excellent. What else? Really good at creating things with your own hands, potential careers, athlete, dancer, builder, sculptor, even an actor. Just good at using your body, coordination. So body smart. Next is music smart or musical intelligence. So be good at playing musical instruments, singing, and professions: musician, composer, singer, conductor, music teacher. Yep. Music smart, number 5. Number 6, interpersonal. People smart. So you want to put down people smart. There's a chance you might already have these in your journal. So people smart. Really good at communicating verbally. Really good at picking up on nonverbal communication. You can look at someone's face and maybe have the extra ability of being able to sense what their emotion is, maybe. Okay? And good at resolving conflicts between peoples or groups. And then here would be the possible jobs for people smart. You're getting them down, right? A counselor, salesman of any kind, salesman, high people skills, politician, psychologist. Anyway, the 7th one is not interpersonal, but intrapersonal. Don't write it down that way, but here's what it is: SelfSmart. You're kind of good, you'd be really good, sensitive about your emotions and what you're feeling, really in touch with your emotions. In touch with your emotions. And possible career choices: a writer, a philosopher. Those are a couple right there. Probably only going to ask you one. The next one, near and dear to my heart: a naturalist. NatureSmart. A naturalist. Really enjoys nature and observing nature, living things. Enjoy exploring your environment. So paying attention to plants, animals, and weather, just all the sciences. Nature smart. Possible careers: a scientist of some kind, particularly a biologist, studies living things. Biologist, a gardener, probably enjoy that. Farming, conservationist. That's number 8. And then the last one has to do with your existence. It's called existentialist, big fat word. But this one would be like GodSmart. So sort of, where did you come from? What's your purpose? That kind of thing. Now, people who are really in touch with the Bible, I'd say especially Christians, and have the Holy Spirit to help them, are GodSmart. And getting God smarter. You can develop it. You can develop all of these, actually. So GodSmart is the last one. So here they are, just really quick and possible jobs. On the GodSmart one, just really being a Christian, being a pastor, being a philosopher, GodSmart people. So here they are again. Art smart, word smart, math smart, body smart, music smart, people smart, self smart, nature smart, and finally the last one, God smart. And God smart people will know why they're on the planet, why they have a superpower. It's a wonderful thing. Probably, who knows? But a fairly large fraction of people that live on the planet don't know why they're on the planet. Isn't that sad? So, anyway, it would cause you to want to pray for a worldwide awakening where millions of people would receive Christ as their Savior, ask Jesus in, and then they would know God personally, and then they'd want to share Him. So, anyway, those are all the smarts. Then, good timing. Then I'm going to ask you about the metric system compared to the English measurement system that we use. So that little section in your journal on the metric system. So I'm going to ask you about this. Here it is. Metric system. First of all, it comes from the word meter. I might ask you that. What word does metric, the metric system, come from? The word meter for length. This is a meter. That's 1 meter. I think I can get it all in the camera, can I? Yeah, I can. A meter. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. A meter. 1 meter. More than 3 inches longer than a yard. That would be a meter. The metric system is named for it. Measuring length, standard unit for length, meter. Then, with the metric system, I'm going to ask you, give me at least 2 reasons why the metric system is better, superior, than the English system of measurement. Pardon me, a couple of reasons. 1, there's only a few things to remember. Meter, liter, gram, Celsius. That's it. Meter, liter, gram, and Celsius. There's only a few standard units to know. In the English system, there's over 20 standard units, maybe closer to 30. You've got to memorize them, know how they divide and multiply between each other. Oh, it's complicated. But when you grow up with it, you can learn it, and I did. The metric system wasn't around when I was born. You are old, Mr. C. Well, not that old. Metric system has, it's been around a number of decades, but, I'm not a century old or far from it. So anyway, I'm going to ask you about another reason for the metric system being superior to the English system. It's basic or simple. Just a few things to know, that's one. Another way to say it, it's basic or simple, and then it's based on what number to multiply and divide between. Ta-da! 10. It's a base 10 system. Base 10. You want to put that down in your journal, I would think. Base 10 system. Okay. So you got it, right? Okay, so you've got all of that. Now I want to show you. So, meter, a liter, that's a liter. 1 liter. You guys have all had 1 liter plastic bottles, no doubt, of water. And then a gram, 1/4 of a sheet of paper, right here, would weigh about 1 gram. That's 1 gram. Mr. C, it's not very much weight. No, it's not. So that would be a gram. And then I'll set these down. And now I want to teach you just the abbreviations for meter, liter, and gram, and then a little conversation about temperature and Celsius. So what is the abbreviation for meter? It is just, see if I can end up doing this. Yes, I can. Here it is. I don't get to do this very often, so I'm excited about this. So for meter, here it is. You'll want to write this down. The abbreviation for meter is just a lowercase m. That's the abbreviation. I'll ask you that tomorrow. So meter, and then liter. What's the abbreviation for it? Mr. C, I have an idea on that. I've got a hypothesis. I'll bet it is a lowercase l. Liter, L. You guessed her, Chester. Meter, M, liter, L, lowercase letters. Gram. I wonder what that would possibly be. I bet you're guessing a lowercase g, and you would be right. So make sure those are in your journal. These are abbreviations. And I'm even going to model it for you. Abbreviations. Did you get them all? Did you get them? Are they in there? They should be. Should be in there. Okay. So those are the abbreviations. And then you've got Celsius for temperature. And here's the abbreviation. The little circle is a symbol for degrees Celsius. Is it a cap? Yes. Degrees Celsius. And then what's the boiling point? I'm going to put BP on here. What is the boiling point of water? Celsius. 100 degrees C. Stick it in your journal. You should already have it. Boiling point, 100 C. And then the freezing point of water, I'm just going to put F. And here it is. 0 degrees C for the freezing point of water. Hey, there's a few points on there, yeah? So there's probably 10 points right there that I will ask tomorrow. Okay? Now, test tomorrow. And then I'll have a few things at the front end of that test to go over with you. So expect that on the front end. So anyway, in a minute, when I take a break, I didn't take a break in the middle today. I was hurrying to get through this. Mr. Phillip will answer any questions for you, let you get caught up. I just wanted to tell you what to do in case of a fire drill. Mr. Phillip will run this. If there's a fire drill alarm sound, are you ready for it? Don't be afraid. And the light will flash just behind that poster on the north wall by the door, to the upper left of the door. So when that happens, what do? Nothing at that point. Mr. Phillip is going to direct you to line up at the door when it's time. The north door. As you're looking from the front of the room to the back, it's over on the right side. The north door. So here's the way it's going to work. Okay? Now, you went over this first semester, but we've got some newbies, and it bears repeating. And Mr. Phillip's going to direct it. So he'll tell you when it's time to line up. Now, you're going to need to do this orderly. So he is going to end up getting his red bag with the different class lists in them and his red and white card. So he's going to be getting that. So while he's going for that, he'll do that quickly. You'll just stay put for a minute, and then he'll say line up. You don't run. You walk to the door briskly. Don't run. Expectation, not an option. Walk to the door and flow into the line. Who's ever over in that area is going to be first. Doesn't matter who is. Just you'll lead us out when he says it's time to go. So you flow into the line. Mr. Phillip gets his red bag. You stay put in your chair. Then he'll say line up. You flow into the line, and he'll practice this with you perhaps tomorrow. Might not be time today. So you'll flow into the line, and then what will happen, he'll say, you may go. You don't run. You walk out the door, make a right turn, stay in one line, and the administration asks us this repeatedly, to stay in one line and not talk. So one line, no talking. It's an expectation, not an option. So you flow into the line. Then he says it's time to go. The first person will open the door. And as you go out, each person will just hold the door open. As you go out, you'll make a right turn. Mr. Phillip is going to bring up the end of the line. So you make a right turn and you walk across the 600 building courtyard where all the Christmas trees were. Then you turn left and you're going to go through the north gate. There'll already be people going through it. Now, what's the reason for one line? The reason is, it's not because you're little kids. You're trying to teach us like little kids. We're not little kids. I'm not trying to do that. We want an orderly fire drill. So that's why we ask for one line, and there are a whole bunch of lines going out. So if you all spread out and everybody else spreads out, it's going to be a mess. And you're not going to be able to get over to the gate and through the gate. So one line, no talking. What's the reason for no talking? Little kids! No. The reason is this. If Mr. Phillip and other teachers and administrators have to give you kind of a last-minute change in where to go, could happen. They've got to be able to say it so you can hear it. That's why the no talking. So one line, no talking, all the way over across the crosswalk to the other side, and then you're just going to line up on the gravel, one line. So Mr. Phillip will lead you back a ways, and whoever's leading will tell that person to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You're still doing one line and no talking. One tight line, no talking. Then he'll stop you, you'll turn around and face back towards the school. Then when they'll take attendance, and when the all clear for the fire drill is sounded, you'll walk back. Again, one line. The no talking rule is not in force on the way back. So that's the way a fire drill works. Flow into the line once he says to, after he gets his red bag. One line, no talking. Then he'll say, go. You're going to stay tight together, out the door, right turn, out across, straight across, not in front of the rooms, straight across, clear the low cement wall, then a left turn toward the north gate. One line, no talking, continues. And then he'll catch up to you and enforce the one line, no talking rule. Out through the gate, across the street, one line, no talking. I get it, Mr. C. And then walk across the gravel far enough down so you can turn around and then face wherever the administrator, maybe Mr. Bynum, Mr. Barker, whoever it is, will take attendance, and then Mr. Phillip will hold up his white card. If no one's missing from the class that he saw in the classroom, it was empty when he left. And then if there is someone missing, like in the restroom, it'll be a red card. So then you'll walk back. That's a fire drill. We practice it at least once a quarter. I would say you can expect a fire drill in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So, but might be later. So just be ready for it. So, and I think you'll be in good shape. I'm challenging you, not an option. It's an expectation. We expect this. Please do this. Expectation. Got to do it. One line, no talking. And that'll make the fire drill go very smoothly for all the middle school. Okay? Work at it. Work hard. Okay? Triple R for that test tomorrow. Mr. Phillip will clarify anything for you now. So, and thank you for that, Mr. Phillip.